Mount Bethel Methodist Church is located in Port Murray of Mansfield Township, New Jersey. It was constructed in 1844 on the site of an earlier log church, and the road it was built on opened prior to 1800. By 1980, the church was added to both the National and New Jersey registers of historic places, but closed around 1985 due to low congregation numbers. The roof eventually failed and the church fell into disrepair. In 2010, the Mansfield Township Committee purchased the vacant church and the roof was fixed as soon as possible. By 2015, architect Michael Margulies was able to secure funding for historic masonry restoration, and in 2018, Preservation Works was hired for masonry repairs and the full repointing of the front and south side of the church. As with any project, a small test area is repointed first for mortar matching and proper joint profiling. We start by center cutting the joints using a grinder with a diamond blade. Then we use various tools, such as a mortar saw as well as a hammer drill and hammer and chisels, to chip out and cut the joints back about an inch. We do this very carefully as to not damage the stone. After the mortar is removed, the joints are vacuumed free of dust and hosed down with water. Then we mix up a batch of fresh mortar and squeeze it into the joints using a grout bag. Next, the mortar is pushed back as far as possible using the right size slicker, which should be slightly smaller than the joint. When the mortar in the wall has firmed up a bit, we do the final shaping using a shaping tool, which could actually be any number of things, like a simple wooden stick. Rob Wozniak here is creating a ridge mortar joint, which is an inverted V shape. After the mortar has firmed up a bit more, we use a soft, usually horsehair brush, to remove the burrs or crumbs. The sample patch was a success, so we moved forward with the front of the building. Then we moved on to the south side and repeated the steps until the job was done. After many delays, including COVID, Preservation Works was hired again in 2020 to complete the other two sides of masonry repairs and repointing. It's a laborious process, but it had to be done. According to the National Park Service Preservation Brief Number 2, if 25 to 50% or more of the building is in need of repointing, it may be more cost-effective for a full repointing rather than a spot repointing. In this case, a full repointing was needed. After the north side was complete, we moved on to the back, and as you can see, each side is a little different. Our first challenge with the back was to remove the paint from the stone. It took several attempts, but eventually the paint came off. Then we chipped off the stucco that once covered the stone, and the process of repointing is repeated for the final time.
Hi, Lauren.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going good, especially because you're doing all the work.
Yeah.
You're just finishing up, huh?
Yeah, we've got this much more to do. And then we will be cleaning all that, doing all the finishing touches.
Unfortunately, the upper portion of this old church was plastered with a cement stucco. On the good note is that it's actually very, very sound up there, but a bit dirty. So they're gonna leave it.
We simply power wash the stucco and left as is. If it fails in the future, it will be removed and the stone repointed underneath. Now that the walls are sturdy and the roof is intact, Mount Bethel Church is one step closer to being a functional building for possible use as a community center or museum. For more information on historically appropriate masonry restoration, check out our website and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and mailing list.